What's up, guys? I'm your host, Briana Garcia, and welcome back to the Untold Stories, episode 11. So for my 11th episode, I'm having on a good friend of mine. His name is Isaiah Cunningham, and Isaiah is on the men's track and field team. He is a senior out of Moreno Valley, California, and he does the sprint side of things on the track team. So a little bit about his accolades going through his career. In 2019, he was all Big 12 indoors for the 60 meter and all Big 12 outdoors for the 4x1 relay. And then in 2020, he was all Big 12 indoors for the 60 meter. And just this past weekend, he had a personal best of 21:17 in the 200 meter, and he just broke that PB with a 20:84 literally like a couple days ago. So I'm super excited for y'all to get to know him and get to know his story. Welcome, Zay. I'm super excited to have you here for my 11th episode. How are you today?
I'm good. Great.
Yeah? You ready?
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad for you to be here too. So my first question I always ask my interviewers is why you chose Baylor.
I chose Baylor because I wanted to get just a different experience, because me being a Cali kid, California, I've always been at USC, UCLA, so I kind of wanted to see something different, kind of reach out to like other schools because my main focus was like USC and UCLA. So the fact that my dad actually got in contact with Baylor, and it's like he told me, hey, the coaches are interested, and they want you to like come out for like a visit. So I was like, me being a Cali kid, I was just like, I don't know, because I don't want to leave the States.
Yeah.
I want to stay here. I wanted to stay in Cali. So, me going out there, I went out there, met the coaches, kind of like walked around campus, and I kind of felt a really good vibe there, a really good vibe here, spiritual, and also just like athletics and just education as well. And the fact that and also Baylor, it kind of made me feel like I was at home.
Yeah.
It kind of made me feel like I was like, I can do this. I can step out of California for once and actually go to a different state and grow and prosper and also just have that success. So that's pretty much like the main reason why I chose Baylor University.
Yeah. And you've been here for 5 years now. And do you think all those aspects that you thought of coming into Baylor have all still been like promising to you while you've been here?
Yeah.
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 No, I think
like
that's
every
awesome.
year, just like 100%.
Yeah, I feel like just interviewing other student athletes on here, I feel like just having like that spiritual education, like feeling that place at home has always just kind of been the same concepts going in for a lot of student athletes. So I'm glad that you were able to get that and still get that today. So that's awesome. And kind of going into being like recruited with track, I feel like track is very different recruiting process than other sports. So can you kind of explain like yours throughout your high school experience?
Okay, yeah. So, me just throughout high school, like I said, with the recruiting part, I was more so into like more of the West Coast teams, and so like I just didn't really, like I said, I didn't really know about Baylor at all. I didn't know anything. I didn't know about the football team. I didn't know about the track team. Nothing. So like I said, just like more so, just my dad kind of like pushed me. He kind of like pushed me. He was like, hey, you need to get out. You need to get out of California. You've been in California all your life. You need to get out of California and just grow up a little bit, And, like I said, well, he actually like hit up the coaches, of course, and it's just like ever since that, coaches came and they were pretty like straightforward. They were telling me, hey, if you come here, we'll give you like a full ride scholarship. And I didn't get that from UCLA. I didn't get that from USC. Matter of fact, UCLA was like, hey, we'll give you full ride scholarship, but you got to take a different route. I said, what's that route? And they were like, well, you got to take the community college route first for the first 2 years. Then you can step onto our campus because that's when we have money for you. And so, me knowing that don't have really experience, no experience at all. So I'm just like, you know what? I like UCLA. I like it a lot. And I wanted to, I told my family, I said, I might just end up taking that route because I really want to go to this school, And that happened. It was just a lot for me just throughout my senior year and the recruiting process and stuff like that.
So that's when recruiting became like really important, was your senior year?
Was my senior year.
Okay.
Yep.
And you said UCLA was just saying, hey, you can take this community college route, and you wouldn't still be able to set foot on their track team, correct?
Right.
So that would have been another 2 more years that you might not be able to compete at a D1 level when you have Baylor that's right next to you. That, look, we have a full scholarship. So that's really cool. And I think, like, comparing the recruiting process with track, I mean, I know with other sports, I've definitely talked about this in another episode, is that, like volleyball or like softball or soccer, people start recruiting girls or guys at like such a young age. Do you think track being able to start recruiting when like you get older makes a difference?
Like for us, so like, what do you mean by?
So like for me, because I used to play volleyball, I think for especially women, your body changes so much from when you're a freshman in high school to when you're a freshman in college. I mean, I think for a male aspect, I mean, your muscle grows, your knowledge and things like that. So just getting recruited at 18 rather than getting recruited when you're 15, do you think that makes a difference, especially with track?
Yeah, I just think it makes a difference because like I just feel like the older you get, the more experience, the more smarter, more experience you get, the more you know about the whole process. Yeah. You know, like I'm not gonna lie, even when I was 18, I didn't really know what I was doing, of course. Yeah. You know, I was so young, you know, but I feel like at that age, like you said, if you were like 16 or so, 17, or just 18 and to now, I just feel like you just kind of like you grow and you know more of the process far so than when you're young. Yeah. Pretty much.
And I feel like track and field is a sport where your body changes so much. Definitely. I think with like other sports, you can kind of keep the same skills and they don't drastically change. But like being on the track team, I mean, you for 5 years, I've been on it for like 4, and now I can just see how much people change mentally, physically, and it's just, you can't really compare that to any other sport. So, I kind of wanted to go into, I feel like a lot of people don't know about the aspects of like indoor track and outdoor track coach. So can you kind of explain a little bit about the differences in both and kind of pinpoint like what you like more in indoor and outdoor track?
Okay, so indoor track, man, it was just a very rough experience. Like even my first year, just never running indoor at all. I just had to get used to like just the atmosphere, just pretty much how to run on a bank track, pretty much like on a curved track. You know, just two turns and like pretty much how to like run a 200 or something like that. You know, like the 200 to full lap instead of like a half lap. And it's just like you have to be. I feel like once you on the bank, it's kind of like a slant. So it's like you have to be careful on going onto the slant, because if you don't go onto the slant, then it's kind of like you may end up stumbling, maybe end up falling, maybe end up hurting yourself. And so like I learned a lot. I still haven't learned. I this past season is kind of like, or this past indoor season, it was kind of like a ups and downs for me. You know, like my times indoor season doesn't match with my outdoor season. You know, and I just feel like just running that. It's very different. It's very different. Yeah, I think.
And you like mentioned having ups and downs. Do you think having ups and downs in your season, can you learn more in that rather than, just being on like a runner's high and like always doing really good?
Yeah. Well, and that's how I was in high school. Like I was just going up, never had like a downfall. And so when I got to college and I got hurt for the past like 3 years, it was a rough experience. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I've never like experienced just like rock bottom, pretty much. But I just kind of like my spiritual side came. It's like I started going to church. I started like of course talking to my family because they're very spiritual as well, and they just told me to like pretty much like never give up. Figure out the things you got to do to like, get to where you want to be at in the future. And I just feel like after that, it kind of like gave me a boost of energy, gave me a boost of confidence saying like, hey, it's not over with, because I was at the point where I was just like, forget this. I don't even think I want to do it anymore. I want to find something else to like, make me happy. Because track wasn't making me happy at all. So I just think that, talking to my family, having my support system, and also my girlfriend as well, they kind of like helped me. They kind of brought me up. It kind of like motivated me to like do better and to like figure out what I got to do to keep my body healthy, keep my body going.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even your mind plays a whole thing in that. And I think especially with track, I mean, your mentality is so important. I mean, like sometimes like when I run, I'm like, why am I doing bad? But I'm like, am I mentally even there?
Right.
And it's so good that you were able to fall back on people that helped you. And I think with track, I think a lot of people do really good in high school. Like everybody is good in high school. And then when they come to college, it's just kind of like, oh, wow, like there's other people that are like me or even better than me. So it's just, that's already hard in itself. And then the fact that you never really got hurt, before coming into college and then had that, I mean, that's just a whole different ball game of trying to figure things out. But I mean, you probably learned a lot of things when you were hurt. So
I did. I definitely learned a lot.
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot about my body.
Yeah.
Like I just figured everything out. Like I learned a lot about my mental, learned a lot about my body physically, like I didn't really believe my parents when they were like, yeah, the older you get, the more your body starts breaking down. I didn't really believe that. I was like, you know what, I'm going to be like how I am in high school forever, if I just keep doing what I'm doing. But I wasn't really getting like, like first year coming in, I wasn't really getting like treatment and, stuff like that. I wasn't used to that, so the fact that I didn't get it and the fact that the workouts were like way more volume than I did in high school, it just kind of like, I was beating up my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And me not having that experience, I'm just like, man, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And so I was like, I started talking to the trainers and they was just like, yo, you need to, the older your body gets, the more you need to, stay in, get that treatment and just keep your body up, keep your body with maintenance. And so like after they said that, I started getting into like, treatment, but I wasn't like all the way in. I wasn't all the way there. I may like do like a couple rollouts or something like that, like, with my hamstrings and that's it. Just go out there and just run, but the fact that I kept getting hurt every year, it kind of just told me in my mind was like, I need to get like, some treatment. I need to get, I need to get the maintenance just to keep my body right.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you go through so much, like you were saying, volume. And I mean, you're a sprinter. A lot of people always think sprinting is easy.
Right.
Because y'all don't run as far, of course. I am a 400 meter hurdler, so I do a lot of like 400 workouts, so a lot more distance than y'all. But I mean, when we just do like a sprinting workout, like either like 90 meters or like 120, I'm like, wow, like that takes so much toll on your body. And there's so much technical things that go into it as well. But also I was the exact same way as you. I was like, I don't really need rest. I can just go. And then when I came to college, I was like, yeah, you need to just lay on the couch, watch TV and just relax. But it still takes me, it's still hard for me to do that sometimes, but I've definitely learned throughout the years that my body needs that.
Right.
So for sure. But okay, so kind of switching things up a little bit. So I know that this is so funny that you're a kinesiology major, but you're minoring in film, digital, and media. So did you start off at Baylor like with that major and with that minor?
No, I actually I just had kinesiology.
Okay. So can you talk about how you got that minor of film, digital, media?
Okay. So honestly, it actually happened, 3 years ago? I want to say, no, 2 years ago. I got a YouTube channel, of course. Started doing YouTube, started editing my videos, and I was catching myself like, hey, I kind of enjoy, editing my videos.
Yeah.
I would sit there for 6 hours just happy, just doing, doing my videos. And then, my girlfriend was like, hey, I mean, since you like sitting here editing people's videos or just your videos, why don't you just start taking a class so that way you know how to network, you know how to connect with other people so that way they can get you to like maybe like your own business or like just in a business, since that's what you love to do. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So, I kind of talked to my counselor, and I told him, I said, hey, I want to be have my minor as like film and editing. And it was like, okay, that's cool. You know, so he gave me classes. He gave me the classes for it. And ever since he gave me the classes for it, I kind of just been prospering, kind of excelling, kind of learning new things, kind of not just the filming side, but also like maybe like how to like make movies and stuff like that, you know? So I think, you know, I really enjoy it. I love it. And yeah.
Do you think having that other like passion or hobby helps a lot when you don't just have to have that motivation with track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps a lot because it's like sometimes when I don't want to think about track, I think about, you know, the film editing side because I also edit other people's videos like outside of like Baylor and stuff like that. So it's like that's just my hobby.
Yeah.
You know? So
I think it's really good to have something else that you can like kind of decompress from, not always be around your sport 24/7. I mean, I've just like learned to really like reading. I know people love to play video games and things like that. So I think that's so cool that you have found a passion in that. And is that something you maybe want to do after graduation?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to get more into details, get more into it.
Yeah.
You know, just like get with the pros, get with the people who actually like know what they're doing and stuff like that because I just love to learn. I love to learn new things and it just kind of like it makes me happy learning new things. And you know, the fact that when I got into like film editing, it's like the fact that I taught myself, it kind of like made me happy as well because I'm learning myself, you know. And so like now I just want to like after I'm done with college, I want to dig more into it, dig more deep, and just like you know, figure out what's the best for me when it comes to like film editing. Like what I like to do. Do I like to do movies? Do I like to do wedding venues? Do I like to do just like other things? You know.
Yeah. So it's probably like opened up your perspective in so many different ways.
You did.
No, I
Definitely.
think that's super cool. Yeah. Do you think if people only like identify themselves in like their sport, it could lead them to like failure?
I think so. I think so, but then again, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like a lot of people, I was one of them. A lot of people who put a lot of effort into their sport, you know, tend to like be successful. A lot of people like tend to like, you know, just grow, you know, as they like play their sport. But I feel like some people, it's like they focus so much onto their sport, they don't have like a plan B. Like you ask them like, hey, what's your plan B? Oh, I don't know. I'm just focused on this. I'm going to go pro with this. I'm going to go pro with that. But I just feel like, you know, for experience for me, coming in, I was like, hey, I'm going to go pro. Like that's just my thing, you know. After this year, after my freshman year or after my sophomore year, I'm going to go pro. I don't have nothing else to do, you know. But the fact that I have like plan Bs, plan Cs, and even a plan D, it just kind of like opened up a lot of doors. Just on the side, you know, just for that way, if track doesn't work out, hey, I have this to lean on, I have this to do, you know. So I just feel like it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. Yeah.
So what's like the first thing you want to try to do after graduation?
First thing, well, I have my auntie, she has like her own little trucking business where she does she drives trucks, but she also has like a boxing truck. So like basically it's like that. I'm gonna be doing like the box trucks. So basically like the box truck, it kind of like stays in the city.
Okay.
More so like deliver in the city or like, you know, maybe like if I stay here, first we'll go is like Houston. You know, so like that's the first thing I'm gonna dive into because it's like I want to build like a for film and editing. I want to build like a whole little industry. You know what I mean? Like just people being under me, like my own little business. So like I'm gonna have my auntie's little business. I'm gonna do my auntie's little business for like a good 2-3 years, trying to build my business up. Then once I build my business up, then it's like now I can focus more so on the film editing side.
Yeah,
you know?
that is so smart. I mean, I think that's really good. Some like problems that I have with myself is I always look to the future. Way too much.
Yeah.
And the downfall is sometimes I'm not satisfied with certain things.
Right.
But I think with like what you want to do with like a job and like something that you're passionate about. I think that is so cool. I would have never thought like, because what is it, like a trucking business, right? That's so different than something with film. But if you build relationships with people and you're like managing them and they trust you and they respect you, then you can create a different type of business. So I think that's really cool. And her business is in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, actually, okay, so her business is like, it's nationwide. Okay. Pretty much. Like gotcha. I can literally move anywhere. I can move to Florida. Okay. And still work, work for her. So.
Do you ever think you'd want to move back to California?
Nah, I don't think I'm moving back to California. I think I'm either stay out here or one of my goal places is go to Chicago.
Okay. I like Chicago a lot.
Yeah.
So what do you think like the biggest difference between like California and Texas, like specifically Waco, that you've seen a big difference in?
It's more quiet here.
Yeah.
More quiet. It's not as busy at all. It's more like just like lazy, just like, down to earth, and I feel like I like that. I'm starting to like that better than the busy life, because it's like, I feel like people in California, they're all over the place. A lot of people don't really know what they want to do. And a lot of people like kind of struggle out there too, is because like, how expensive it is and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's just out here, it's like I feel like a lot of people are more friendly, more outgoing, willing to help you, like say like you don't know what you want to do. Yeah. Like people out here, like they're willing to help you. They want to help you. Far so when people in California, it's like people in California, they're so, I wouldn't say fake, but they're so more to themselves.
Yeah.
Like
selfish.
Yeah, very. Yeah. Like you have to know what you want to do if you want to live in California, pretty much.
I can't say anything because I don't live there, but I'm also from a bigger city as well. And like when I came to Waco, I was like, am I even going to like it here because it's so small? Yeah. But I do, as I've like gotten older, I love how quiet it is. Like I was telling some people, I used to hate when like track was like the only sport here and like everyone left for the summer. I would hate it. But now since I've gotten older, oh my gosh, I was here like all last summer and I was like, I love that there's no students here because like the traffic and it's just quiet. And like for an athlete, Waco is such a good place because you don't really have a ton of distractions, especially for track. You don't want to have a lot of distractions for that. So I think that's cool that you've been able to, maybe it's like more of a maturity thing that you found like different qualities in an area that you really enjoyed. So I think that's cool that you've been able to be in California with a busy life and then come to college with something different. So yeah. Alrighty, so for my last little segment, I kind of go into some questions. I posted some on Instagram and two people asked a question. I didn't save the one kid. Okay. But he asked, what has been like your, let me see. Where is it? Oh, he's been, what's your favorite high school memory?
Like sports wise or just like kind of
anything?
Like just anything?
Yep.
My favorite high school memory. I would say I built a really good relationship with one of my teachers. Like you know what I mean? Like we still pretty much like talk to this day. And
like a mentor?
I just feel like he's like a mentor. He kind of like, he guided me to a lot of places. He guided me to like to make the right decisions and stuff like that. And I feel like having that kind of made high school a lot easier, kind of made high school a lot better, and kind of made me transition to college a lot better too.
Yeah. I always think people think like a memory is like an event that happens, but that's so unique that yours is a person. So that's cool that you got to find like your mentor maybe in high school and that you can still communicate with them anytime you want. So I think that's awesome. So with track, you obviously do individual races, but you also do relay races. So which one do you prefer more and why?
I prefer the 4x1.
Really?
4x1. I love the 4x1. I just think it's just like once you build chemistry with your teammates, I think it's like a really fun event to run in racing, especially like if this weekend coming up, it's like it's gonna be like everybody there, and the fact that we have really good chemistry with each other, it's like it's gonna make it interesting for us to like see what we can run, see what we can do. Yeah. So I'm gonna say the 4x1 is like the best event for me.
Yeah. Relay. And this weekend is Texas Relays, and this is like one of the biggest high school and college track meets
Right.
ever. And there's going to be pros there too, which is going to be insane.
Right.
So one of my friends, her name's Naomi, she
Okay.
asked you, what are some of like your pre-comp rituals?
Pre-com? Like, what do you mean?
Your competition, pre-competition.
Rituals.
Like, what do you like to do before you compete?
I love music in general. So before I get out there and run, I have to listen. I can't listen to rap. I can't listen to like anything fast. So like I would listen to a lot of like slow. I wouldn't even listen to like people like singing. I would just listen to like different beats.
Yeah.
You know, like different like calm beats, just calm me down.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's like one of my rituals. I think that's like my main one that I like.
Yeah, you don't have to like eat like a certain thing before you run. You don't like for me, I tie my shoes really tight before I run because I feel like my shoes are going to fall off for some reason.
Yeah.
So do you think like rap music and that type of pace like overhypes you?
I think it just overhypes me.
Yeah.
It makes me too excited.
Yeah.
Like I'm just out there and, you know, like before I get out there and run, like I'm all excited. I'm all amped up. And I just feel like it's kind of like not a good thing to do for me, especially for me. Cause like before I did that in the past and it's like wasn't the best experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause I would get out there and I would be nervous, you know, but the fact that I'm listening to calm music and, you know, stuff like that, it gets me like ready. It gets me more prepared. It gets me more relaxed. It gives me more confidence, you know?
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's awesome. I feel like a lot of people do that more than I think, because I can't listen to rap music or I'll also get overhyped. Okay,
Yeah.
and so for my last question, it actually comes from me. If you had to do any other field event, running event in track, what would you do?
okay. I would probably do the high jump.
Really? And
I'll
why
do
is
the high
that?
jump. I just think just from watching it and just from like one of my teammates, is Luke. You know, just from him explaining how high jump is.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like it was like very interesting to very interesting to like look at, watch. It's like now I understand it, you know.
Yeah.
So I just think, and I like the jump too. I like the jump. I like the, you know, when we play basketball, dunk, of course, and stuff like that. So I just think like high jump would probably be the best for me if I were to pick.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's a
very
lot of
hard.
technical.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I'm super excited for what this season brings. I talked about at the beginning of my intro that you've already had a personal best in your first outdoor track meet. So this weekend, Texas Relays is a huge meet. And if y'all are in Waco, we have our first Baylor invite April 2nd. So if you're in Waco, come out and watch. Both of us will be running. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what this season brings you. And even after graduation, nothing but the best for you and your future. So yeah, if y'all want to watch or listen to the podcast, you can go to my YouTube at The Untold Stories and Spotify with the same title. Thank you.